Hi, my name is Jillian Gines, and this is my presentation on Montessori schools. Montessori schools were started by Maria Montessori in Rome in 1907. Now, in the United States, there is over 3,000 classes alone. Montessori schools believe in a method to create with the needs of the individual child in mind. That means we're not worried about the masses. We're worried about each and every individual child. Some of the other good things about Montessori schools is it's self-paced. If somebody needs a little extra time, that's okay. And if they're faster, that's great too. It builds confidence and promotes independence. It's hands-on learning. Montessori schools allow children to work on what they want and when they want to. That means they don't have to be forced to do math at math time. They can do math whenever they want to during the day. By doing this, lets the child grow not only in its core competencies, but its natural curiosity and independence. There are 8 principles when it comes to Montessori schooling. The first one is to respect the child. Respecting a child means freedom within limits. That freedom might include letting a child do science work even though it's technically the math period. The absorbent mind is another principle. This is the idea of the first 6 years of life where information is so taken in by the young brain. There are also sensitive periods. These are the windows of opportunity when a child's interest on a developmental skill is at its height. The fourth principle of a Montessori schooling is the prepared environment. To you, everywhere might look like a toy, but every toy is meticulously placed for optimal child learning. Autoeducation is another something that we believe in. This is the idea that children can teach themselves without having a teacher lord over them. Montessori is all about the individual child. That's why they learn what they want when they want, when in the pace that fits them best. The 7th principle of Montessori is the ability to make choices. Choices build up a person, and it can be simple as, do I want to do science now or math? By giving a child choice of what they're able to do in their environment, they're more able to learn. The last principle of Montessori is the fact that we develop the whole child. And it's not just what they know cognitively, but what they know gross motorly and fine motorly, and even how they act in our world around us. We are responsible for helping them grow. Montessori school is very different from a regular traditional school. The one thing that you might notice in your own classroom is the huge age gap. The age gaps are usually pre-K through kindergarten and first grade through 3rd grade. With these children, they can sit where they want. This leads to greater collaboration. They are also be able to focus on the process and not the data. That means we're more worried about the child being able to get it by themselves than having to worry about that SAT number. We are also based on inquiry-based learning. That means that we want to learn what the children want to learn. That means that they're more involved in the learning process. We also like student independence. That's why they do their work on their own. We also believe that children should work on their own pace. We would never rush a child to get anything done. Now, even after all this information, you might ask yourself, why would I go to a Montessori schooling? One is hands-on learning. This is especially important for the children that learn kinetically. It also teaches leadership skills, freedom of choice, and fosters the love of learning. It also helps provide the information that they need to become critical thinkers. There are two critiques of Montessori schooling that we'll talk about today. The first one is it's only for the rich. This is because most schools, you can find them in our private schools with high tuition. But that's not completely true. There are plenty out there in charter schools and even some in the public school systems. The second critique that is lacks structure and discipline. But Montessori, they believe in promoting self-discipline and independence. Again, my name is Jillian Gines, and this has been my presentation on Montessori schools. I hope you've learned something. Thank you. Goodbye.